And we're live.
Hey everybody.
How's it going? Just looking at audio levels. Seems to be cool.
I think so.
So, this is Music and Mascara live Q&A and hangout. Just generally hanging out and having fun on a Sunday night. Updating you on various things and taking your questions about RV living and working on the road and all that. etc. We're also gonna, for the next few weeks, kind of give you a little recap of where we've been this summer, because we were terrible about that earlier, at least sharing weekly stuff. I think on Instagram maybe was okay, but not in video form.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about it, so most of it was just picture sharing, so it is fun too to just kind of take the time to share that with you, recap some of the things we did, still kind of in picture form, but you get to hear us talk about it, maybe hear some stories behind the pictures, etc. And tonight we're going to be talking about mostly California.
Mm-hmm.
And our one destination, we were in very, very northern California. When everybody's like, where in California are you? We were like, almost Oregon.
And they're like, Northern California? You mean like San Francisco?
No.
Like hours north of
Literally, we were closest to Oregon, which also houses one of our favorite spots. So we're going to talk about that tonight too. Yeah. My favorite. I don't know if it's your
Probably
favorite.
One of our favorite, definitely one of our favorite national parks of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That we think everyone should, now I'm finally where I need to be. I think everyone should check out.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get to that in a minute. If you have questions along the way, if you're interested in something in particular and you want us to go over it, or if you've been watching some of our other videos and have random questions or something just pops into your head, stick it into the chat and we will get to it, or we'll do our best. And then do we have any questions that came in?
I do have some questions. So I think we should run through, maybe go ahead and do our picture time, and that will allow people watching live to ask questions, and then we'll go through the Q&A also.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, because this might add to the Q&A.
Yeah, I think it will. So I think that would be the best way to start, in my opinion.
I dig the idea.
Cool. Well, if that's the case, let's talk about California. So this picture is literally the view we had.
Yep.
Where we stayed in California. So if you're familiar with the state at all, Mount Shasta is very, very northern California. And that's where we were. We could see Mount Shasta from where we were.
This is my parents' front yard, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so we were actually, and people are like, you were where? Weed is the name of the city.
Weed, California.
Weed, California.
If you follow my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel at all, you'll know I used to wear a T-shirt all the time that said "Enjoy Weed." It looked like Coca-Cola shirt.
Yeah.
And everybody would be like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "No."
You had the "Enjoy Weed" one, and mine said "I love weed," and then it said California at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and we definitely got them because we knew they were slightly controversial.
Yeah, we knew people would get a kick out of that.
So anyway, it's beautiful there. It's what do you call it? High desert.
Mm-hmm.
So
4,000 feet.
The terrain is super weird. In my opinion, the deer are really scraggly. They have terrifying jackrabbits.
Huge. She'd never seen.
They're so weird.
Like a proper Western jackrabbit that has like dog legs.
And like long, their ears are as long as their body. Terrifying.
She's used to little cute bunnies with a white puffy tail that you're trying to keep out of your garden.
Yeah.
Not like a jackrabbit that literally is as big as a dog. It was kind of funny I used to live out west, so I didn't think about it, but it was funny to hear her talk about it. What else we got?
So the next thing is just to say that the sunsets there were beautiful. We actually found the perfect spot. We're going to talk about it a little bit more for sunset. And so what you're seeing here is the sunset, but that very strange looking cloud that looks like it's connected to the horizon was smoke from a wildfire that happened while we were there. So again, like if you've ever watched, sunsets can be beautiful. Sunsets are more beautiful when there's something for them to reflect off of, clouds, etc. So this was just a really strange capture for me to get, to say that it goes with the next picture that I will let Dylan explain.
Yeah. So I don't even remember the name of this comet.
Neowise
comet.
Ha.
So what you're seeing there, I am really proud of this picture because this was a very difficult picture to get. So you're seeing the forest fire happen on the horizon, and then just above it, you're seeing the Neowise comet with the trail and everything.
And it was we couldn't have perfectly timed this. Like, we were there in this window of time that it was for the best viewing, and I don't think people, here we live on the East Coast normally, I don't think they got to see it like this. And we were so far north, it was just all to our advantage. It's a very, very not light pollution area.
Yeah, very dark. This was actually a picture that I light painted. Mm-hmm. So this is actually a composite of 3 photographs that I lit the bottom artificially. If it wasn't for that, this would have been a completely black photo with just the sky and the fire. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to show the people in the foreground, so I actually used a flashlight to overexpose the bottom part of and then I composited this photo. This is like 3 photos put together.
So also to say that some photography skills were worked on this trip, and we were discovering some new things, which was really fun.
Yep. So,
which leads us to the next picture if you're ready.
Yeah, so nighttime photography is something that I've always really struggled with and wanted to get better at. And so since we were there and it was very dark and you could see the Milky Way every night.
And Jupiter. Jupiter and Saturn, I think, are those 2 bright spots.
In this photo.
Specifically. Yeah, so it was this perfect storm of things to look at while we were there.
It was awesome.
And try to take pictures of. Able to see the Milky Way is something I've never been able to see. I've seen it in pictures. I've seen people I know with pictures, like, oh, that's neat, but it still was just like unfathomable to me. But you could see it with the naked eye and you could capture it in a picture. It was just crazy to me.
Yeah, it was very, very fun to get that stuff. What do we got next?
Oh, I didn't even, the top of the picture gets cropped off, but there's like oh no, that was something on my screen. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, what do we have next? Next, we have, this is, did I mess that up? Are we like way down there on the picture? Or is it normal?
You might have screwed it up.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see in a minute.
This is actually Lake Siskiyou, I think is the name.
Mm-hmm.
And just to show you, so I don't know how much you can see in the picture, what you're viewing this on, but it literally looks like a lot of the lakes up there almost look like you're in the Caribbean or something, because you can see like the sandy or the rocky bottoms. I didn't even know you could do that. How did I do that?
Just keep going.
And it's just really beautiful. So you can see the mountains in the background. This is a lake, a fairly big lake. And so I messed the thing up, y'all. Sorry.
Just keep going.
A fairly big lake, and they went swimming and kayaked.
Yeah.
I did not get in the water because it's cold. I like bath water temperature. Bath water temperature to swim in. And there's nothing out west that is warm. So, anyway, really pretty. The next picture is, again, just being able to see we talked about it as we've come back this direction. There is something to be said for the cold water. Like, the cold water allows things to not grow in it. So everything is super clear. This is actually, we were up close to the head of the Sacramento River. It was really beautiful, beautiful stones. You could see in all the water. There's no dirty water. I think Dylan actually drowned his RC car here.
Yep.
When
Yep.
he
Had to replace a bunch of electronics.
when he thought it was waterproof, and we learned otherwise.
Mhm.
Anyway, just really beautiful. And just to keep on that same point, we'll talk about another
We'll
place
go
that we went.
quickly through this because we have a bunch. But this is
We don't have a bunch.
Oh, we don't. Okay. This is another one. So there's some of these lakes in Northern California, and this is why I say you should definitely go in this part of the country and check it out. Everybody thinks of California as the California part, but this is it's in the middle of nowhere. This is literally miles back on a dirt road that you can only go again. Oh, you guys haven't seen this video. Next week you'll learn why we bought a Jeep to do all this on YouTube. You can see it on Patreon right now. Last week's video or whatever. Anyway, we have a video on Patreon right now that will be coming out to the rest of the world on Thursday. It talks about why we bought a Jeep. But this is really why, because in the middle of nowhere. I mean, just top off, doors off, in the middle of nowhere. And look at this lake. It is like clear to the bottom. There's no boats allowed on it. Like no motorboats allowed on it. Absolutely unbelievable. And there's dozens and dozens and dozens of these little mountain lakes that you can go and hike to and see. Some of them you can't get to in the winter. Like that one you couldn't have got to in the winter. Just really, really cool stuff. That is really awesome.
This one was called Cliff Lake, by the way, because of the cliffs.
Yeah.
So this is a day trip we took. Was it a state park?
Yep.
It's called Bernie Falls. Absolutely beautiful. Again, I mean, this is my picture, so it's with my phone. I can't do the color justice in this case without getting rid of some of the surroundings, but that bottom pool of water was like a beautiful aquamarine. It was the breeze there, like, I don't know, it was absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
Natural waterfall, so it literally is just running down the rocks everywhere. Is why it looks so wide. It's like literally trickling through the rocks in various places.
I think if you look on our Instagram, we've got a few more pictures of that are color graded so that you can see everything. This was a huge highlight for me. For those of you that do not know, I worked in the power sports industry before I had anything to do with guitars, and well, not before I had anything. Anyways, I used to work in the power sports industry. I rode motorcycles every day. I am more of a motorcycle junkie than any other junkie thing that I am otherwise. I love them more than anything. They're my favorite thing. So my buddy called me up and he's like, hey, do you want to go for a ride? I have a Ducati that you can use for the day. So I couldn't say no. I actually went and bought a helmet and a jacket because I didn't have one. So I went and bought a helmet and a jacket. And I was like, I'm not going to turn down opportunities to ride motorcycles from now on. Wherever I'm in the country, if one of my friends says, do you want to ride my motorcycle for the day? I will be able to say yes because I have my own gear. And we went and spent the day on all these mountain roads, and it was absolutely incredible. I lost my GoPro, or my action camera off the back of the bike and had to buy a new lens, but I didn't even care. It was absolutely...
You got some good footage, though.
It was great, man. Oh, yeah, it was great.
It was fun.
And I've gotten to ride a couple of times this summer, and so it's been really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then just to close out the California part of our journey, we actually didn't go here, but this is the biggest lake close to where we were, and it's called Lake Shasta. So you'll see a lot of people talk about that between the mountain and this big lake, which again is gorgeous. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. We drove over it a few times. This is actually from a bridge overlook, but I wanted to share just to reiterate, like, there's so many lakes and they're all very pretty.
For those of you that are RVing, this area of the country has a lot of high elevation mountain passes with a lot of steep up and down grades. And with a gas coach, because we do not have a diesel, with a gas coach, some of it was a bit challenging. We're talking 11-mile long 6% grades that were like, it was a long day for sure.
And they're not like just up and down. They're
no,
like
curves and banked turns and construction with one lane and bridges closed half. I mean, it was like, so just be aware if you're an RVer that it is all doable, but don't plan 350-mile days on the days that you have to do all these mountain passes. What was that?
The ice maker?
Oh. Sounded like something running across the roof. Anyway, just know that it's involved. It is involved. Now, our favoriteest place.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Should we answer some questions first and then talk? Well, no, we'll go. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is Crater Lake.
Yes. Crater Lake National Park.
We've been twice now?
This is our second time, yeah.
Or 3 times.
Maybe 3 times. Yeah, maybe 3 times.
I think it's 3
I
times.
think we go every time we go out there.
Yes.
It's so pretty.
It is a must for me. So, funny story. We actually learned about this the first time. I'd never heard of it before. I mean, maybe we would have heard of it if we went, since your parents live so close. But we were at a race in Darlington.
Yep. We were at I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, but one of my buddies comped us tickets to a NASCAR race in Darlington, and we took the kids, and it was terrible. It was so hot, and it was...
Yeah, I don't think it was terrible. It was
hot.
We were on... So, Darlington is one of those, if you are a NASCAR fan, definitely a track to go to, because it has like a newer, renovated side, and then it kind of has like an original side, and we were on the original side.
Yep.
And the sun was, and I'd overheat easily, so we were literally like piled up in this one little area of shade where we then met people. This is like years ago, pre-COVID.
Yeah, this was like 4 or 5 years ago.
So we get to talking to this couple, and we're talking about road tripping, and the kids are talking about their favorite places. We're just having a conversation, and this lady was like, my absolute favorite place is Crater Lake in Oregon. And in my head, I'm like, we're not driving to Oregon, so forget that. But I happened to Google it, because I like wrote it down when she told me, like put it in a note on my phone. And when I looked at it, I was like, there's no way this place is that pretty. No way. So the first year we were going to Northern California on a road trip, we had it all planned out. And I was like, since we're going to be so close, can we go this way? And he was like, what did you say? It added like 500 miles. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was adding, and we had to go a different way. And he was like, I don't know, that sounds ridiculous. I was like, but we're going to be so close. Like, I can't imagine not going if we're going to be that close. And I think even getting there, like, when you get to the park, you're just like, okay, this is going to be bogus. And you drive, and then you get out of the car, and you're like, holy moly, this was worth it.
Because the pictures, I just showed you another one. The pictures, now I had to work on these photos to get this to look this way. But that is how it really looks.
But go ahead.
It is the lake. So this lake, what's unique about this lake, if you've ever done any research about Crater Lake, there's no rivers that flow into it. There's no rivers that flow out of it. There's no pollution. There's no people that live on it, nothing. So the like organic components of the water or whatever is all just ice melt that goes into the lake, and then whatever, and it's very, very cold, and whatever bacteria that grows in there and whatever algae that grows in there and whatever grows in there, that's it. There's no, it's its own ecosystem. And of course rain, but it's its own ecosystem. And so it has this very unique hue of blue that I've never seen anywhere in any other lake anywhere, ever. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, the color. This next picture she's going to show you.
This is not edited. This is my picture.
You took that with your phone?
This is my phone. So to see the contrast, you see how it's that pristine blue, and then there's like this teal green, like you can see the layers around the edge, and it's because of the way the land, you know, as it's coming up and it's closer to the shore. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And it's hard to tell you the scale of this, but those are like yachts that you see in the water. They were big boats.
So it's not 100% true that no people go in there. You can actually, you can charter basically a boat that just like goes out and comes back. It's not like you can.
Yeah, so just go back a picture. This island thing that you see in the middle here, they call that Wizard Island. I think it was originally like the top of the mountain. This is supposedly like a volcano that kind of imploded on itself. But Wizard Island, and they do have like for a very short season because it is high elevation and it has a lot of snow there all the time, even in July. And they have a boat that will take you to Wizard Island to look and go back.
But it's only like.
But I don't think you swim or you can't do this on your own. It's totally within the park system and all managed.
And it's very limited people per day that can do it. It's
right.
a very, very unique. There's nothing like this anywhere else. You have to go there because you cannot get this from pictures. I mean, I did my best to.
And you can even see, so we're giving you some different views. This was the first time, I do think this is our third time. We were actually able to go around the entire thing, which was the first time. Normally, if you go earlier in the season, half of it's closed because of the snow. So this was the first time, so we were there, was this August by the time we took this trip? So it's August. And the road was open. It's open for a very short period of time because it's already snowing in this area now. Yep. So it's a very short period of time where you can actually go all the way around the rim. So you can see there are so many different views and perspectives. And it looks different, like that one shot when I got the edge, that was super important to me because you can see that color when you're looking like across that Wizard Island, but to be that close to it, to be able to take that picture, just crazy.
Yep. What's that last one?
And the last one is actually in the same park. So it also has a lot of hiking trails and a lot of waterfalls. I mean, a very deep ravine when you first drive up. You can hear some waterfalls. There are waterfalls everywhere. We were with a group. We went with his family. Didn't hike, but this was like a bonus waterfall.
Yep.
That we got to see right off the road.
She likes waterfalls.
I love waterfalls.
Yep.
Awesome. Well,
cool.
That was fun.
Yeah. Want to get to some fact quiz?
Sure.
Or Q&A, whatever.
Not as many questions, but there's a few things we can talk about. Okay. Charles says, it is beautiful down there. He is commenting on...
Sorry about the noise, but she's too loud. You're peeking just a little.
Last Q&A. It is beautiful down there. I live in northern Kentucky. We didn't know that, Charles. Sorry.
Yeah.
It is nice here, but that section of Kentucky is beautiful. I would have made the drive to meet you guys. Have a safe trip and stay blessed. It is beautiful. We've actually only driven through Kentucky and quick overnight stays and never really spent any time there. But we did enjoy it. We could have stayed there for a long time.
I think we want to go back at some point and take the time to do like the whole bourbon tour thing and Kentucky and Tennessee, really. The whiskey tour and the bourbon tour, and do all of that stuff, and stop in all those little towns, and
For sure.
do all that stuff. We want to do that for sure. And actually, more now since we've been there this time. It's probably one of my that Land Between the Lakes thing. You could spend 2 weeks there. That place was so cool.
And from the drone video, we also talked about Land Between the Lakes too.
Hey, Gary.
Tom and Sarah said you had to post this video. Now my husband wants this drone. And it is, I mean, even I flew it a little bit. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, and it makes me super nervous because we were surrounded by a lake and I didn't want to drown it. Because to me, like one wrong move and I'd mess up. But he loves it, and this is the most we've used a drone in any of our footage, which I think speaks to the ease and fun that he's having with it.
I have had the drone before that for like 3 years and have put it in a video maybe 3 times. That thing never got flown.
Yeah.
This drone, we're flying it almost every day. Like, we're finding something. You'll see on Instagram here probably this week. And actually, if you're on Patreon, you've already seen it. There's a couple of things that we did while we were in Nashville that you couldn't do without it. And it was just, I don't know. I love that thing. I use it all the time. I do need to get, somebody asked me the other day about the Fly More package. Like, would you spend the extra $900, because I paid $800 for that thing. So, and it's like $980 or something to get the Fly More package, and it comes with all this stuff. I don't necessarily think any of that's really that important. The only thing I would get is an extra battery, which is almost, I think they're $100. So maybe it's worth it to buy. I don't know. Maybe it's worth it to buy the Fly More one, but I just feel like all the other little gimmicky stuff's no big deal. But I do need one more battery for sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Beyond Jeff's Basement said, if you get a chance while you're at LBL, stop by Green Turtle Bay Marina. I was a master yacht technician there for a bit. Great views and good food. So
we'll do that next time.
This is a friend of ours, and it just amazes me how much you learn about people all the time. Like, I mean, who would have known he was a yacht technician?
Who's that?
It's Randy.
Oh.
Right?
No, I didn't know.
Isn't that cool? That's so cool. But we're not, obviously, in Land Between the Lakes anymore, so we'll have to add that to our list.
If you want to keep up with where we are all the time, I don't know if I'm picking the right one. I can't see.
That's right.
Yeah. If you want to know where we are all the time, patreon.com/musicandmascara. We post at the end of the week before we move. We post where we are, what we did that week, and where we're going the next week. So if you want to keep up, because like a lot of the recorded videos are going to be a couple weeks behind, and so if you want to meet up with us, if you want to hang out or whatever, or if you want to just know where we are, that you can do it over there. Just because of the way the videos are running now, you won't be able to tell that from here.
Yep. And what was that? Oh, that's what we're doing. Sorry. A question about, so we also did a lot of review videos in the past and different vehicles we've had, etc. This question was, do you still use an Android device for your daily driver?
Nope. So I switched to, this was a huge deal.
He's still not happy about it, y'all.
No. I've been an Apple person since 2006. All iPhone, all the time. A year and a half ago, I switched to a Samsung. Whenever the Samsung S20 came out, I bought that and I went to an Android. And it was amazing and I absolutely loved it. But earlier this year, there was a couple of apps that just did not work. And I actually called the app developer and had conversations with them. And a couple of apps that I really, really needed for RVing, actually. So LevelMate Pro, which we use to manually level the motorhome, is an app and a device, a Bluetooth device, that does not work very well at all with Android. And there are technical reasons for it, and I talked to them. And so that was one reason. That one and a couple other ones that we used to book places, we didn't have them on Android. And then all this talk this summer with cybersecurity and TikTok and all that stuff, and I did a ton of research on Android security, and I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but it does bother me how Android keeps up or doesn't with security updates. And so there's a few little reasons that I have reluctantly switched back to an iPhone. Oh, and because this software that we're using, this is probably one of the biggest reasons, the software that we're using to do this live stream right now is actually all on Apple devices. So we're driving it with the iPad, and we are, my phone is our camera, and we can set up like 6 other iPhones, and we could make multiple camera angles and all that kind of stuff, and all these graphics, and being able to share photos with you and all that stuff. So for both of our YouTube channels, this channel and the Dylan Talks Tone channel, it just ups the quality of our live streams, and we can't do that on an Android. So that was actually another one of the big reasons. I still hate it. I want the Samsung, whatever the newest Samsung Android is, I want it right now. But I can't have it because of practicality reasons. So I deal with.
And we really love AirDrop.
Oh, and AirDrop has been convenient to have back.
Yeah, especially because now we're doing this style. We're doing this in a lot of places because this is probably one of our favorite things. But it's really fun to be able to share pictures with you and talk about them. So it's super easy to get them from a different device and drop them on the, literally AirDrop them to the iPad for use.
Yep.
So there were a couple other questions, but it's really, we just need to grab some Amazon links for them. So I don't think we need to talk about it. But if you see us share Amazon links, I just want to mention this. So Amazon links, it's no extra cost to you, helps us out a little bit and helps support the channel. You don't have to buy what we're sharing, but if you use one of our links before you shop, that does help us out with whatever you order.
So if you don't want a drone, but you need toilet paper, still use the link.
Just go peek at the drone and then go shop.
Yeah, because it does help. It does help.
And it doesn't cost you anything. So an easy way to support us in addition to, of course, watching and supporting us here.
Yep.
Did anybody chat in live?
Yeah, there's a few people. Terry Himes from Ohio says hello. Dennis Polson was waiting for us when we got here, so that's pretty cool.
Hi, Dennis.
And then, of course, Gary Redburn, who's a patron over there on Patreon. So he already knew most of this stuff, actually.
Yeah,
he got, like, the inside scoop.
He did.
So, and I'm actually going to change the thumbnail of this video to be more about Crater Lake, because that's pretty much what we talked about.
We had a broader topic when we were going to, just to be transparent about it, because the title changed, I think, a couple times, and now we're going to change it again. But we had a broad topic, not knowing what we were going to talk about, but we wanted to have the placeholder there so that everybody remembered we were going live tonight. And as we talked about it, we just wanted to get narrower and narrower, but knowing that Crater Lake was in there, and it is a favorite
it's the thing,
of ours.
Man. You have to go see it.
It is. I mean, I think it just gets overlooked. I mean, I know a lot of people hadn't been there. Your parents live right there, and they hadn't been. Like, why? I mean, I think I would go all the time if I lived right there. Yep. Because it always looks different, too, the different times we've been there.
And one of the other highlights of that trip was we're in the middle of nowhere on I-5, in Northern California, and there, my dad's like, you got to go to this liquor store. So we go to this liquor store. It's a warehouse. It's this huge warehouse, like huge. And we walk in there, and they have, of all things, a bottle of Blanton's, which is very difficult to find. If you know anything about bourbon, Blanton's is very difficult to find. They had like 4 bottles left. I'd never even seen it in a store before. I've been trying to find it for like 2 years. So I was actually able to buy a bottle of Blanton's. I still have it up there. I'm working on it very slowly because I can't find
Savoring
it.
it.
Yeah.
He has shared it with a friend.
Well, we have shared it with a
friends,
couple people, yeah. But it is
And of
so
course,
good.
what is it? It's a whiskey?
It's a bourbon.
It's a bourbon. I don't like anything that he drinks usually. But of course I tasted this and I was like, of course I would like this one because it's super rare and hard to find.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyway, it was really good. That was another thing. And then, of course, one of the reasons we went to Northern California is because of COVID, because it was so difficult to book RV stays through late summer. And so...
Yeah, so we were there mid to late July through mid-August because we kind of got stuck.
Yeah.
It was getting very difficult. I think things were kind of ramping up and people were closing down again, like especially in California. Like our sister-in-law is in a salon and she was getting shut down again. So it was just like another wave was coming through. And you know, this has been the most unpredictable year ever. So we just decided we would hunker down and stay in one place. But we did see some beautiful stuff while we were there.
Yep. And the cool part about that part of California is you can just disappear into the woods. There was stuff we wanted to do, but there was just too many people, and so you end up just staying out in the middle of nowhere.
Which was nice. Again, props to the Jeep because there were places we got to go that we wouldn't have wanted to hike to because of the weather, but it was easy to drive to get away from people and still be able to see something beautiful. So that was really nice.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So anyway, hopefully that was enjoyable. Hopefully
yeah, man.
This has been a good week. Like everything came together this week. Like we had those plans about, you know, we started the lives, then we implemented like a schedule of activity, you know, to upload. Then we added in the Patreon, and this week everything happened. This has been the perfect storm of week leading up to today. Looking at it from ending on Sunday, I guess. But
yeah,
everything happened this week, and now we're on schedule, and you feel good about it, right?
Yeah, oh, totally. And then, of course, with the other channel, because we've had developing things over there too, we shot a really cool video that I was not expecting to shoot, and that ended up being very awesome. And then, of course, we had, you guys can't see it in the shot, but over here is a huge mess because we had a Dylan Talks Tone workshop that we do live on Zoom the 4th Sunday of every month.
Which is why these ended up being so late, because we knew this day would come.
So we knew that the 4th Sunday of every month is double scheduled with channels. So I've actually been on camera since, well, for over 2 hours now. So it's been a long night, but it's so fun because everything's kind of working together.
So does this last video, I know you're not saying what it is, but does this last video mean that you've done 4 collaborations this year amidst COVID?
Yep. Even with
that's
COVID.
That's really cool. That was one of our goals this year that we didn't think was going to happen. So that's really cool.
No, I'm saying what I did.
Are you?
I shot a video with String Joy, which is a string company in Nashville. They make guitar strings, so it's all about how guitar strings are made. So it's not coming out. It's coming out on Dylan Talks Tone Patreon on Tuesday, and then it'll come out to the rest of the world the following week because I'm doing exactly the same thing on that channel too. This has just been super fun, and as we keep going here, we're gonna have more and more techie stuff about the RV, more and more how-to stuff, more. It's just, we're just now getting into a groove of content that I think you'll find value in. And I hope that you get in the comments and be like, please make a video about this. I don't know about this. I need to learn about that. I'm a beginning RVer. I'm a beginning traveler. Because one of the things you may not know about us is that for probably we've only been doing this since February. So for the previous 7 years, we've been putting 30,000 miles a year on a car just doing road trips. We are like addicted to travel. So we literally, I mean, if you want to know how to travel, and this is what we do. Like we're like professional travelers now. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out and hanging out with us tonight. This has been super fun. And I hope everybody has a good night. And I hope that you share these videos and enjoyed them. And hopefully we will see you on Thursday with a new video that's very cool, that I'm actually really proud of too. That video came out really good too. So I think you'll dig that. It's already on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/musicandmascara and watch it, but it will be coming out to the rest of the world on Thursday.
Cool. That was fun. I love these, y'all. Keep asking questions so we can keep them going.